Hello and welcome to Where You're Not Entertained. I'm Daniel,
I'm Rachel.
And I'm James.
and we are covering Chapter 5 of Perry Mason. The new
Yeah,
series,
man.
Yeah.
Ooh, this got good. This was a good one.
First episode after the big cliffhanger.
Yeah, we're actually moving along now.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a little bit slow in the beginning as far as development of, in my opinion, development of Perry Mason and like where he should be. Kind of what I expected from Perry Mason, I guess. But this is definitely taken kind of its own track and has its own feel. And now we're getting to where Perry Mason, not necessarily like Raymond Burr, the actor Perry Mason, but the show itself was based a lot in courtrooms and doing the whole investigation and the actual trial.
Yes.
And so we're getting to the point where we're getting to that.
We're actually seeing some Perry Mason-ish stuff. I mean, there's so heads up, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
There's the whole scene in the kitchen where he is, angry and ranting, and you can see the revelation on Della's eyes. And I don't know. I really appreciated the way that they did that scene because I started to realize it at the same time as she did, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is a great transition to see him from the investigator, the private eye, into what will be the orator." I'm assuming,
Right.
that they're going to show him as. Yeah, it was kind of awesome, and I hate to see Lithgow go because I thought Evie was a great character, and he definitely helped pull me in because I loved that performance.
Yeah, John Lithgow is awesome.
Yeah.
But you kind of had to sweep him out of the way at some point in time if you were going to get Perry to be the lawyer.
Yeah.
And I think they did it in a pretty elegant way. I'm curious whether or not the insurance fraud is going to come back to bite them in the ass, but a lot happened in this one, and I felt like we got the ball rolling in the right way to really finish things up over the next 3 episodes.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And I think even from that first moment in, I think it was a hotel, when Della's telling Perry that he covers up his human decency with his sloth, the look on his face lets you know that he doesn't like that that's her opinion, that she sees him. He doesn't like being transparent. And for me, from that moment, that's sort of when you notice that he can't just sit down and accept this. Now his hand is forced because Evie's out of the picture and he has no options but for himself to step up and take this on. He knows this case inside and out, and whether he knows every little detail of the law necessarily, he knows a ton about people and how to read people and get the right emotion and reaction out of them.
Yeah, I think that Evie's death really serves as the catalyst, because he's got the realization of, EB and who he was, and the kind of guy that he thinks that he was, and what he respects in him, but also, gets Della's opinion kind of thrown in his face, whether he wanted it or not, gets her opinion on him and kind of what he has the ability to do, which is be a little bit more like the kind of person that he thinks EB was.
Yeah, EB was a role model to him.
Yeah, exactly.
And you also get this brief flash of how he views EB versus how EB's son viewed him. And maybe in Perry's mind, he doesn't want his son to feel that way about him.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's why he went to go visit his son. I think it was a clear ringing of a bell in his head.
Yeah, and so you have definitely EB's death serving this multiple purpose. right? It spurs him into having to take on the case, and it also spurs him into looking at himself in a more critical light.
Yeah, there's a big gap between the person he wants to live up, the image that he has in his mind of living up to what EB would expect of him, and the way Della sees him.
Right.
Definitely. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Sister Alice.
Yeah, it kind of feels like she's digging herself a hole and she realizes it.
She's getting a lot stronger and more forceful with her mom.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious how that's going to pan out. I almost didn't expect the man to get out of the wheelchair.
Or for him to fall flat on his face or something.
Right.
I was kind of curious about that too. Like if she was going to push it too far and this be the moment.
It's a bigger build to a potential bigger fall.
Well, I think that's exactly what it was, is because that wasn't about him getting out of the wheelchair. Yeah, I think that was actually more for Emily Dodson, for her to see what she believes is a miracle of the man standing. And it's confirmation that Sister Alice has the capability possibly to bring her son back. And that was the actual setup of that scene. And so I think it kind of scared Sister Alice a little, or at least made her worry when Emily asked her at the grave if she's going to need to dig him up.
Yeah, exactly. She did have kind of a look of concern on her face at that moment.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I really wonder, bigger picture, what the role of Sister Alice and the church will be in the actual trial itself. I know
because there has to be some major link between the actual case and the church.
Exactly. Not just that they helped her get out on bail, or that they're in her corner, or that one of the main contributors to the church was the father of someone involved in this crime. I mean, those are all like little threads. So there's got to be, all those threads kind of have to be pulled. I'm assuming they're all going to kind of get pulled at one time, maybe during the trial itself, to reveal some things that we didn't see or weren't shown to us.
Right. Well, she even mentioned that their stance and Baggerly's stance have now...
Well, yeah. Diverged.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely curious what the point and the purpose of her character and the church's relationship is going to be in this big murder mystery.
Yeah, I'm 100% convinced that it's going to be around Mr. Baggerly's. It's going to fall somewhere around him.
It has to, yeah.
Not only were there just clues that were dropped that would be, I suppose they could be red herrings, but also, I mean, not to get too meta, you don't hire Robert Patrick for such a small part. I mean, he's an amazing actor.
Fair,
and
yeah.
Like, he has to have a bigger role. If that's all he's in, then I'm going to be like really surprised.
It would, that would definitely be kind of, okay.
That's a small character, but it was appreciated.
Yeah, thanks for confusing me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so they do have the, what do they call them? The court-appointed attorney. Thank you. who is on the case and feeding information to the DA.
Yeah.
So that's also kind of one of those. Aha. So you do get a better insight of really how crooked everything is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because we talked about the last time when the DA was talking to the cops, and I was saying that I didn't know, like, they didn't really tell you that he was necessarily crooked, right? There wasn't anything overtly about his conversation or interactions with those cops that make you go, this dude
But
is
he was
crooked.
clearly willing to look the other way.
Absolutely. Yes. But in this, crooked.
Right.
And a good portrait of just how little they have, that they're trying to get into his office and essentially steal information, which is what I expected as soon as they gave her a court-appointed attorney. And I'll come by the office. He's probably thinking, jackpot, this makes my life so much easier.
Well, exactly. What about the detectives paying in order to be placed on the case?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was an interesting find.
Everything smells fishy here.
Yeah, y'all paid to be here? So we already know one of them is involved, but we don't know if they're both involved. Because they both may be.
That would be interesting if they did a reveal, because so far they've showed us quite a bit of information that that Perry and Della don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious how much they've left us in the dark or how much misdirection's been thrown our way.
Absolutely. It was good. I am looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
It's got me hook, line, and sinker now.
It's been a slow burn, but it's ramping up, man. And we got 3 more episodes. I cannot wait. I really, really hope that by the next to last episode, it's all courtroom.
Yeah.
I want 7 and 8 to be nothing but courtroom, since we really haven't had any courtroom other than her bail set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In court with EB.
Yeah.
And he's apparently passed the bar. That was the end of this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he will be a lawyer, an actual lawyer. So
if they don't give me 2 hours out of 8 in a courtroom in a show called Perry Mason, I'm going to be a little pissed. Just saying.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
But all right. Well, then, did you guys have anything else you wanted to cover before we hopped off?
Nope.
No.
All right. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode as much as we did. And if you did, join us next time whenever we talk about episode 6 next time.
Yes. Chapter 6. Yep.
Thank you guys for listening. Please go online and like and subscribe, and join us next time on Were You Not Entertained?